Coach, there was a big play in the second half when you guys were kind of charging. It was a shot by Mitchell that I didn't see it hit the rim, but did you think it did not hit the rim?
I didn't think it hit the rim, but my kid said it hit the rim.
Okay.
But I just think I thought the foul call was a bigger, question mark.
The one with Harden.
Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, that was a big play.
Well, since I did, it's not as big a play in my head now as it was at the time. But your kids were down 16,
Mm-hmm.
and I think possibly some of the stuff that's been happening was happening this season. But how did they get back to the point where they could make that challenge, you think?
Well, I think for us, some of it tends to be, turnovers, and our turnovers happen in bunches. And I think when we allowed the score, when Ohio State made their run to go up, we had some turnovers during that stretch and allowed Ohio State to get out and get some baskets in transition or, score against our defense when we weren't set. I thought Ohio State did a good job on the boards, and that's something that I thought was a difference for them is Alexa Hart, she was a beast on the boards for them inside, and we needed to keep her off the glass and keep her from giving them second chance opportunities with 9 offensive rebounds. That was big.
Right. Your zone kept them on the perimeter most of the time, don't you think? And was that what did you want that?
Well, it's the thing about Ohio State is they're Mitchell and Amherst Dawson and Asia Doss and their backcourt is really, really talented. And it's kind of like you have to pick your poison. What are you going to live with? And we've felt like we wanted to make them shoot from the outside and take our chances with the percentages and rebound the ball and hopefully we could go in transition. But Alexa Hart, I thought, was a difference maker for them on the boards.
I read a story that Lindsey Spann couldn't play much. Still flu-like symptoms? Or
no, she pretty much has the flu.
Oh, she has flu?
Yeah,
Okay.
she has the flu, and so she's still symptomatic and didn't have the energy to play. She traveled with us, but she didn't dress. She wasn't able to play.
And that's how big a difference is that for you?
It's a huge difference. I mean, she's our leading scorer. Our point guard runs the team for us. I think she leads us in minutes per game. So not having her presence out there, is a difference maker. But I'll say this: I thought the kids that played, they stepped up. We had Sierra Moore and Kalia Mitchell, handling the ball for the majority of the game. And I thought they did an admirable job, considering that's not what they're known for.
Well, again, you were a stop or two away from really getting back into it in the last 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Alston made a couple inside.
And she's, those two are tough. When I think, Kelsey Mitchell is pretty fortunate to be able to come in as a freshman and play with a kid like Amherst Alston, who's played for a couple years and can ride shotgun. They can balance and play off of each other. I think they just give each other confidence when they're out there playing.
What do you think of Kelsey overall?
I think she's a fantastic player. Outstanding. She's fun to watch, and the Ohio State fans are pretty fortunate to have her. I think she's going to be a beast and a monster in this conference for the next 4 years. And, I just think she's an incredible player, incredible talent. And unfortunately, we got a lot more games where we got to try to figure out how to slow her down because you can't stop that kid.
It still seemed like your kids competed till
Oh, absolutely.
And has that been a constant?
Oh, absolutely. Our team is, we're young in every position, and they're learning how to win. They're learning how to compete. They're learning how to play as a team. We're learning how to develop in our identity, and you can say, well, it's 16 or 17 games into the season, but there's no stopwatch or no time, no clock on at this moment. You have to be ready. So, coming into the season, we knew that this was going to be a transition year for us. And it's going to take as long as it takes for them to figure out how to, fill the shoes of Maggie Lucas and the 4 seniors that we had who played a lot of games. You don't replace that kind of experience with, 15 games. So I'm happy with the way they're progressing and the way they fight, and we're going to keep plugging away for the rest of the Big Ten season.
I mean,
Anything?
is that something where, I mean, you have been through this kind of a thing before and obviously
Mhm.
came out pretty well on the other end? Does that
Mhm.
at least gives you some confidence?
Oh, absolutely. You know, it takes time. It takes time, and it takes experiences. You know, you have to go through some of these things. You have to go through losing streaks. You have to go through figuring out how much it takes and what individually they have to do to get better to be able to perform. And so as coaches, we're patient. You know, like I said, we understood that this was going to be a transition year, but you know, we'll be patient. We'll get them better. They're fighting. We see the progress. We see the progress from, you know, the last game we played. Who we played last night? Nebraska. From Nebraska to this game, there's been progress. So we're just content with focusing on getting better every day, as individually and collectively as a team, getting better.